Today's Ganesh class is about humility. Hello and welcome to episode 128 of Namaste Yoga. Today is probably going to be the last class in the Ganesh series. Today's story is a class that teaches about humility, so it's a great little story. I'm excited to share that with you. I wanted to start today by thanking Squeezed, our clothing sponsor. You can go to www.squeeze.ca for lots of great yoga clothing. I'm wearing the Squeeze leggings today in teal with grass all over them, with the Om Mani Padme Om mantra on the bottom of the leggings. And then also my favorite top right now, the peacock colored bra cami with the awesome Om sign on them. So I like this bra cami because it has a little shelf bra in it, and so just put it on and go. Nice and easy. And the clothes sit nice and close to your body, and they just sit tight and they fit, and you don't have to think about them once you go. And they're all manufactured and made in Canada, and so no sweatshops, nothing like that. And also all the clothes are, you'll see that all the clothes, they all match each other because she does things with the dyes and the hues, and so that they all match, which is so great too. So lots of great features and really good quality clothes and a great company to support, and we appreciate their support. So thank you very much, Donna from Squeezed. I also want to thank you all for your donations and for supporting us. A lot of people have asked me if this is what I do for a living, and it is what I do for a living. So your donations, they pay our mortgage and put food on our table. So thank you very much for that. We appreciate that very much. And you can make donations at www.melissawest.com. We appreciate that very much. And when you're there, you can sign up for our newsletter. And when you do that, you get a free morning and evening yoga sequence. And that's not available anywhere else on the web, on YouTube, or anything else. You only get that when you sign up for the newsletter. So those are great little short sequences that you can use to start and you finish your day. And I know a lot of people do that, and they really enjoy those sequences. Also, on my website, you can sign up for the membership site, and there are two ways that you can do that. You can either sign up for the year, it's $69.95 for the year, or $6.95 for the month. And we're going to be doing some filming for that probably this week and next week. I'm going to be filming a yoga for posture class for the membership site, and also a yoga for anxiety class for the membership site. So lots of new content going up every month. And we also throw in the classics. I have a whole bunch of DVDs that we made a long time ago before we started doing Namaste Yoga, and we kind of drop one of those in every month now, and there's about $90 worth of those in there now, so more than the membership site, than you pay for the membership site now. So good deal for those. Also, if you want to stay in touch and know what's going on with Namaste Yoga, you can go to Facebook and like us at Your Namaste Yoga. Oh, also wanted to thank everybody. This is awesome news. Everybody who went to iTunes and gave us a rating and left their reviews. That really helped us a lot. You catapulted us from number 84 on iTunes up to number 17 in 1 week. So that was awesome. So thank you so much. I think we could get up to top 10 if you guys kept doing that. So if you go to iTunes and just leave a rating, we like 5 stars. Hey, why not? Thanks so much. That'd be great. 5 stars. Leave a little rating. Tell us how great Namaste Yoga is and how much you like it. And then other people can find out about us too. And other people just like you, and real yoga for real people. That would be really, really great. So if you watch through iTunes and you're there already, just go and do that. And I bet you we could get into top 10 in another week if you guys did that. So thank you so much. And we will send you a video if you do that too. Just email me at info@melissawest.com, and we send out our yoga detox video, and that video is worth $15. So yeah, we'll pay you. We're paying you to leave reviews. We're not above that. So thank you so much. Okay, a little testimonial here. This is from Andrea, and this one really resonated with me because this is like my life 15 years ago, 16 almost now. She said, I just recently found your YouTube videos. I've been going through some pretty big life changes right now. 24, recently married, finishing up university. I felt caught in between 2 phases in my life. I've really been moving to eating healthy and practicing yoga for the first time in my life to find a new balance with a new me. Your videos are a wonderful balance between spiritual, very instructional, and sympathetic and encouraging to those new to the philosophy and movements of yoga. I want to thank you very sincerely. So thank you, Andrea. I love that testimony because I was like, wow, that was me 16 years ago when I first started. I remember when I got married to Tim and I adopted his lifestyle. I put on 20 pounds. I started eating like him, which was really yummy. But my waistline went weird. So then I found exercise, and then exercise didn't really suit my Vata constitution very much. So then I had to find healthy eating and yoga, which suited me much more. And the rest is history. So there you go. Oh, and I also wanted to thank so much. I received a couple of, I always read these testimonials, but people send me emails and they're like, you're so great. And that's helpful. That's really nice. But sometimes I receive emails. This week I received 2 really great emails where people gave me very constructive feedback about what would be really helpful for them. And that's really helpful for me because as yoga teachers, we don't get that very often. And when it's done nicely, which these people both did, they said, I would like a little bit more instruction around this, and that was really helpful to me, and I so appreciate that. So, you don't have to just send me emails that say, you're so great, I love you so much. Constructive feedback is very welcomed, and I appreciate it very much because I can go through and discern and see what you guys need as students. Because one thing about teaching you on video is that I don't have a classroom where I can't see what's going on for you as the students. So you have to tell me. And I appreciate that I had 2 people, Diane, and I had a man, I can't remember his name right now, take some time to send me an email to tell me the things that I would normally see in a classroom. And so that really helps me as a teacher. I appreciate that so much. So take the time to tell me. That helps me a lot. Okay, so for today's class, you're going to need a block and a strap. And you can go ahead and rest back, and I'll start today's class with a story. Okay, so if you can do anything to make yourself a little bit more comfortable right now, then go ahead and do that. And lying on your back is nice because it gives your body a chance to settle. You want to lie in such a way that your body is straight. If your low back is bothering you, bend your knees or place some cushions or a bolster under your knees. Check in with the alignment of your neck. You want your back of your neck to be straight, so that is, you want your forehead and your chin to be on the same level. So just check in and see if your chin is higher than your forehead, and if it is, drop your chin a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got all these alignment issues for lying down in a way that's comfortable, take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And just allow yourself to be ready to receive the story, to take away from it what is important for you right now. So this story teaches that we should never take undue pride in our material or spiritual accomplishments. The old saying that pride always leads to fall is proven true in this story. Kubera, the god of wealth, invited Shiva, is the god of destruction, and Parvati, his wife, to dinner, wishing to show off his riches. But the couple denied Kubera's request and said that he could feed Ganesha, their son, instead. Kubera laughed and said, "I can feed thousands of children like this." Ganesha went to his palace and sat down to eat. He started eating all the food that was placed in front of him. As was the custom, more and more food was served to him, as he did not say he had enough. Soon, because Ganesh has a big belly, there was no more food in the palace, and so Kubera ordered his troops to get more food from the surrounding villages. But Ganesha continued eating until there was no more food to be found. Still very hungry, Ganesha started eating all the furniture, and Kubera became very frightened. Ganesha told him, "You promised my parents you will feed me. Now I have to eat you up, as I am still very hungry." Kubera ran away and pleaded with Shiva to save him from Ganesha. Shiva asked Kubera to give up his pride and serve Ganesha a handful of rice. Kubera went back to his palace. By this time, Ganesha's stomach had become very huge, but the child was still hungry. When Kubera served a cup of rice with humility, Ganesha's hunger was satisfied. This teaches the lesson that a handful of puffed rice given with love and eaten with devotion is more important and filling than all the wealth of Kubera flaunted to impress the world and all the gods. I just thought that's such a cool story. I love it. Okay, so just reflect on that story for yourself and see what stands out for you, how it relates to your life right now. And start to form an intention for yourself for the class of how you would like to be with yourself and how you would like to practice your yoga today. And when you feel ready, you can start to wiggle and stretch out. Okay, so you're going to start by lying. You're going to need your strap. So you can take the strap and place it around your right foot. I'm going to start by stretching out the backs of our legs. This in a while. So you're going to draw the back of your right leg in, and when you're here, a few things you want to just check in on. Number one, just check in and see that the back of your left leg is connecting to the ground, the center of your left heel is on the ground, that the back of your pelvis is level on the ground, that you're not rolling it way up, that the back of your right leg is open and straight. Also, don't forget about your upper body. Make sure that your shoulders are dropped and relaxed. Sometimes we can get so intent on making something happen with our legs that our upper body gets involved. Doesn't really have anything to do with it. Make sure the back of your neck is long. And again, that alignment through your forehead and your chin should be level. So sometimes when I'm in yoga classes, I see that people's chins are way higher than their foreheads. So chin drops. Okay. So one of the questions that I heard this week, this was one of the pieces of feedback that was really valuable, is where should I be feeling the stretch and how much should I be feeling the stretch? So, and this is such a good question because really, only you can know the answer to this. Okay, so generally where you're going to feel the stretch in this pose is somewhere on the back of your leg, okay? And how much you're going to feel the stretch depends on your edge. There's a whole class on this. You can go and search on my YouTube channel for edge and do that class. Would be a really good class to do. But edge is that place somewhere between too much and too little, and it's going to depend on your day. If you're completely exhausted, you don't want to choose something really super hard where your legs shaking like this. In fact, you should never choose something like that. But you want to choose a place in your yoga posture where there's something happening, but it's not too much that it's distracting, but it's also not so little that you're going to get distracted as well. So you want to find that kind of sweet spot in the middle where you're able to stay engaged. Somewhere where you're able to stay connected with your breathing and be aware of what's happening in your body. Okay. Now we're going to start to open your right leg out to the side, but here it's really important that you think about this left leg being really heavy and sinking here, and that this left hip bone doesn't start to lift up as you open your right leg out to the side. So this wants to stay really grounded, we would call it. Open your right leg out to the side without letting that left hip bone open up. And here generally you're going to feel this stretch probably somewhere on the inside of your inner thigh, inside of your right leg, into your groin. But where you don't want to feel it is on the inside of your right knee. So if you're gone too far, you might start to feel it in your knee joint, and so you'd want to back off. So another way to check in to see if you've gone too far, if it's too much, is if you're clenching your jaw. If your breathing's really rapid. If you're holding on for dear life to the strap and your knuckles are all white. If there's tension in your shoulder and your neck. So there should be ease and steadiness in the pose. And check in and notice what's happening in my body now. What's happening with my breath. And then draw your right leg back to the center. And you're going to start to cross your right leg over your body, but just a little cross, and keep your back of your pelvis resting on the ground. And here generally you're going to feel something happen on the outside of your leg. So people what I notice happen in this pose, this is generally a very strong stretch, but you won't feel your legs too far down. So you want drawing your leg towards your body. But as I mentioned, this can be a very strong stretch, so you don't have to cross it very far over your body. Okay, and then bring your leg back to the center, and you're going to go ahead and let it fall out of your mouth. And check in with your body and see what's happened in your body now after you've done one leg, so that you can be the expert on what's happening in your body as you practice your yoga. So feel between your two sides, and then you can go ahead and hook up your other leg. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and draw your left leg in. Okay, so oftentimes what I'll see in this pose is people will bend their leg in an effort to bring it in more, but what I would prefer is for you to open up the back of your leg and instead let it be out more. Okay, so again, let your back right leg connect to the ground. Let the back of your pelvis stay connected to the ground, and draw your left leg in. And know that this side might be different, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be the same as the other side. So what's happening with your breath now? Can there be ease through my upper body and my breathing? How am I feeling the stretch? Is it too much? Is it too little? Do I need to adjust to find a little more edge? Is it too much edge? Not enough edge? Am I honoring my own body today? Okay, and then go ahead and open your left leg out to the side. Remember to keep your right hip dropping and sinking. And move slowly. If you move slowly, it won't pop up on you. So we're doing this pose because it's going to mimic one of the shapes that we do when we're standing. So we're doing this to prepare ourselves for standing. So this is part of humility, is proper preparation in yoga, is that we do all these preparatory poses to prepare us for the bigger poses. And we do them again and again and again and again. And this is humility. So again, you want to generally feel the stretch in the belly of your muscle in the inner thigh, not in your knee joint. And then slowly use your core strength, bring your leg back to your midline. And then keep your leg drawn in and up towards your torso. And then slowly start to cross it over. It won't take going very far before you'll get to your edge here. Keep the back of your neck long, hammer, chin, and forehead on the same level so that your neck is long here. Shoulders relaxed and dropped. And breathing into your belly. Okay, and then go ahead and release your leg. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And just check in with your body and feel the effect of the posture on your body. Feel for those subtle changes in your body, the effect of what's just happened. So this is part of humility too, of noticing the small shifts and changes that every yoga posture has on your body, rather than rushing on to the next. Okay, so you can stay lying on your back. I'm just going to turn around. Going to stretch out your hips a little bit here. Do is cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. And this is a great stretch for your hips. And this is another pose where it's important for you to choose a place in your body where it feels right for you. So this is another one where edge is important. Okay, so it's up to you how much or how little you want to feel this stretch in your hips today. And some days you might be able to really go for it in this pose, and some days you might need less. My right hip's actually pretty happy today. Another thing that's useful in this pose is some people might need a strap here. Choose a strap. And if you wanted more, you can even hold on with your shin, use your elbow to open your knee. Notice what's happening with your breath. When your mind starts to wander, bring it back to your breath. Okay, and go ahead and release this, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Really open your left knee out to the side. Know that the side's going to be different. Use your left elbow to open up your left knee. Notice what's happening with your breath. Okay, and then go ahead and release your legs and bend your knees and roll to your side and come onto all fours. Okay, I want to do, another stretch we haven't done in a while because everybody doesn't like it. Everybody being me. Either. Okay, so this is a stretch that is great for your inner thighs and groin. So just go easy on it. Try not to push yourself too hard, okay? So start on all fours and you open your knees out to the side. And your legs are at a 90-degree angle. You are flexed up towards your face. And you come forward like this on your forearms. Okay, and then you want to tuck your tailbone under and lean back for this one too. Keep your chin tucked here, your ears back by your shoulders. And breathe. And your breath will probably be a little more intense here because it's a more intense pose. Shoulders down away from your ears, space between your teeth. And draw up through your pelvic floor, draw your navel back through your spine, and use your arms to come up and draw your knees in. Okay? And then we'll stretch out our hips a little bit more before we come up to standing. So come onto all fours, slide your right knee forward to your right wrist, bring your right heel over to your right hip bone, reach your left leg back and long, And then you'll fold forward over your bent right leg for pigeon stretch, a great stretch for your hip, a great stretch to prepare for some of the standing postures that we'll do today. And here you want to feel the stretch in your hip, in your glutes. You may even, I've come into this pose some days and felt it in my inner thighs and my hamstrings. So this is where it's really difficult to say where you're going to feel the pose, because it's going to be different for everybody and depending on the day. But you don't want to feel it in your knees. So if you are feeling it in your knees, you want to start to bring this leg underneath you more and come into the pose like this more. You can also do even a more modified version like I showed last week, where you do zigzag legs and fold forward this way, or you can come back onto your back and do the pose that we just did, the keyhole stretch, the figure 4 stretch again. So lots of modifications are possible here. Okay, and then you're going to come up and we'll switch sides. So come back onto all fours and you'll slide your left knee forward to your left wrist. Bring your left heel over towards your right hip bone. Slide your right leg back and fold your body forward. Okay, so a lot of times what I see in this pose, and this is a way that you'll cheat yourself and make this pose easier, is that this leg goes out to the side. It's really bad for alignment. Actually, it really hurts my knee when I do that. And then we start doing the pose like this. So not good. You want to keep this leg straight in line with your body. So nice straight lines. And then fold forward. So where you don't want to feel this pose is in your knees, and if you feel it in your knees, make some adjustments so that you're feeling it in the bellies of your muscles, in your glutes, in your outer thighs, not in the joints. Okay, and then come back onto all fours. Tuck your toes under, step back into downward facing dog, and walk your feet forward, and you're going to come up to standing. Okay, so from standing, I've chosen 2 standing postures which I feel require humility to come into, and if we don't come at them with a humble heart, they tend to fall apart on us, or they don't come together as expected, and then our ego gets all in the way and they just they kind of fall apart on us. Well, half moon for sure falls apart on us, or triangle doesn't turn out as expected, and then we get a little wounded over it. So that's why I've chosen these poses, because they require a humble heart, I feel. So we're going to approach these poses with humility, and having a block will be good for this. And you know, using props requires humility, I think, because you know, I think sometimes I don't need a prop, but props are helpful and they are part of being humble. So here's your block. You're going to stand at the front of your mat. Just put the block down maybe in front of you so that it's easy to get at. And stand at the front of your mat. You're going to take a step back with your left leg to begin. And you're going to step so that it's about the length of one of your legs between your two legs. And you don't have to get real finicky about that. You're going to line up. For men, you're going to line up heel to arch. For women, heel to heel. Okay, so both legs are straight in triangle pose. You're going to turn your back toes in so there's about a 45-degree angle. Your pelvis is going to be turned towards the long edge of your mat. You're going to press your hips back. Bring your arms up parallel to the ground. Press your hips back. Shift your torso forward. And then you're going to tip. And here's where your block can come in handy. You're going to tip. And you're going to place your block underneath your shoulder. Okay, so yes, of course, in a perfect world, this block would be by my foot. But see how this, for me, in my body, that's not underneath my shoulder. So maybe in your body it is, but underneath your shoulder, in your body, and up. Okay, so straight line, arm, shoulder, arm, up. Okay, there's triangle pose. So we're going to have humility and let it be how it is in your body, the best triangle pose in your body. And if it doesn't bother your neck, you can turn your head up to look up at your left fingertips. And then from triangle pose, we're going to shift into half moon balancing pose. So to do that, you can bend your front right knee and you'll want to move your block forward, probably forward of your right leg. Lift your back left leg up. And then gently bring your left arm up. So you're going to move into this pose slowly. Let it unravel slowly so that if we move into it quickly, it falls apart. Pose with humility. And the last thing you turn is your head, but you don't have to, because once you turn your head, you get your inner ear involved, and that tends to make things fall over. And you can be humble enough to use a wall behind you or something to help you with balancing. Okay? So how about we build that whole thing on the other side now. So I'm going to stand over here so that you can see the whole thing again. Just put the block at the front of your mat so it's there for you. And take a step back with your right foot. So again, you'll step so it's about the length of one of your legs. Women, you'll line up your feet heel to heel. Men, heel to arch. Okay? Turn your hips so they face the long edge of your mat. Your back foot's going to be turned in at about a 45-degree angle. For me, on this leg, see, this is why I'm not a big fan of all the sort of alignment rules, because you need to do what feels right in your body ultimately. And in my body, you notice here, what feels better looks more like a 90-degree angle. So, and in my body, that feels really good in my knees. If I start turning it more to a 45-degree angle, it's going to start torquing my knee. So always feels good in your body, not hurting anything, probably okay. Okay? So hips facing the long edge of your mat, arms come up to parallel to the ground. You're going to press your right hip back. shift forward and tip. You can grab that block, place it underneath your left shoulder this time. And lift up. One thing you can do if your hamstring is really screaming is shorten your stance here too. Bring your back leg in a little bit. If it bothers your neck, you can just look down at your left hand. Okay, and then bend your left leg. You're going to tip forward, bring your left block forward of your left foot. Bring your right leg up, open your right hip, and then lift your right arm. Maybe turn your head, but you can keep looking at the ground. You can put a wall behind you. And then find a way to let the posture out of your body. Good, great. Make your way down to lying on your bellies on your mats. Okay, so lying on your stomachs, I've chosen Sphinx pose today because it's a little back bend, and I think it's a humble back bend. It's a really effective back bend, a great counter pose for life. It's a really effective back bend, but maybe one that we think, oh, it's not that important. But it's a really, I mean, if this was one of the only ones you did, it would be so good for you because it's such an effective counter pose for sitting at a computer and everything. So it's one of those ones where it's not as maybe as impressive as some of the bigger back bends, but a really effective one. So lie on your stomachs. Take your arms out in front of you. Let's just prepare our low backs a little bit. Tuck your right leg, right toes under. Lift your knee, reach back through your heel. Do that on both sides. Tuck your left toes under, lift your knee, reach back through your heel. That'll create lots of space in your low back. Level your hips, press the front of your pelvis into the ground. And then what you're going to do is just walk your elbows back till they come underneath your shoulders, if you can do that without your low back pinching. There's going to be some compression in your low back, and that's okay, but there's a difference between feeling that kind of healthy compression and pinching, that sharpness. You don't want that kind of sharp electric pain ever. You want but kind of pressure is okay. So press into your elbows. You don't want your shoulders up into your ears. You want to press into your elbows so your spine stays long. Don't do your back bends with your neck, do your back bends with your back. So keep your chin tucked and your ears back over your shoulders. And reach your breastbone forward. Okay, so you can probably feel your upper back muscles working. Really effective back bend. Press into your forearms. And breathe right into your armpits here. And then you can go ahead and slowly lower down. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up and back. And rest in child's pose. And then you can roll up through your spine and sit with your legs straight in front of you. We're going to do a twist now. And this twist requires that you be humble with yourself and be present to where you are in your practice, okay? So you're going to slide your right leg in and cross your right leg over your left leg. And some of you are going to be humble enough to stay here. Okay, and do your twists like this. Okay, if you can bring your left leg in like this and have your right hip stay on the ground and not be all up in the air and this off the ground. So you have to, here's the deal, if your right foot can stay on the ground and your right buttocks is still on the ground, then you can do it like this. If not, your practice is humility today in keeping your left leg out, okay, being where you are. Wrap your left arm around your right leg and turn towards it. Matsyendrasana. Long spine, keep your ears over your shoulders. Press into your sit bones, lengthen up through your spine. And then turn towards your center and uncross your right leg. Extend your left leg out if you didn't have it already out. Slide your left leg in. Cross your left leg over your right leg. And again, check it out. If you can bring your right leg in and have your whole left foot, your whole left hip on the ground, then you can stay here. But if one of these is reaching up off the ground or both, then you need to keep your right leg out, okay? So practice humility and be where you are. Wrap your right arm around your left leg and turn towards it. Reach up tall through your spine. And here in twist, you want to breathe your belly button back towards your spine. So focus on your exhale and really, really breathing your belly back. Do you see that blue heron flying across? Okay, and then come back to the center, uncross your legs, and then we're going to practice a couple of forward folds. And I think for me anyways, forward folds have always been about humility because and my body, just the way it's set up structurally, it's never been able to get very far. It might be different for you. So you're going to slide your right leg in, cross your right leg all the way over your left leg. Sit up nice and tall, and you're going to hinge forward. So particularly in this pose, you don't have to go very far to have huge sensation in the back of your leg. So this is a very good example of edge and, you know, not having to do a lot to get to a really hard edge very quickly. Stay tall through your spine. And then hinge back up and switch legs. So you're going to cross your left leg all the way over your right leg, reach long through the back of your right leg, lift up tall through your spine. You want to hinge through your hips to go forward. And again, you don't have to go far. You're going for sensation in the back of your leg here. And here it's really important to keep your chin tucked because it can be like you try to do your forward folds with your chins, but remember to do your forward folds with your pelvis. Okay, and then hinge back up. We're going to finish today with a mudra and a breath practice. Today's mudra is actually for Kubera, the god of wealth. It starts with your thumb and your first two fingers together, and then you fold your ring finger and your baby finger in towards the center of the palm of your hand. So that's it. The Kubera mudra. Okay? Does that make sense? Right, and then you could rest that on your lap. And this is a really good mudra to use when you're setting goals or trying to see something through. You can use this mudra as a way of manifesting something. So we will sit with this mudra for a bit. So if there's a goal that you're working towards, you can bring that to mind and use this mudra for it. So sink down through your sit bones into the ground, let your spine rise up tall. And follow your breath as it comes in and out of your body. And then you could leave your left hand in the Kubera Mudra. And we'll do the breath practice with your right hand, cover your right nostril. And we're just going to do moon channel breathing today. So just cover your right nostril with your right thumb. And breathe in and out through your left nostril. Moon channel breathing. Okay, so you can go ahead and rest your right hand down, wiggle and stretch out. You do take 5 to 10 minutes to rest back in Shavasana, especially after that lovely, very relaxing moon channel breathing. Thank you for joining us for episode 128 of Namaste Yoga.